Oh, whoops.
Sorry, I forgot to record the first part.
Okay. So we're talking about mindset,
Yes.
and we're talking about fixed mindset and growth mindset. And when you have a fixed mindset, that means that you are really limited in your thinking. Like what we were saying, money doesn't grow on trees, or I have to work hard to make money. Whereas a growth mindset believes that actually it's easy to make money. There's all kinds of money in the world. Right now, we live in a time where there are more billionaires than ever. There is so much money in the world, but because we do a healing modality, a lot of times we think, oh, well, I should be giving this away for free, or this is easy for me, so I really shouldn't be charging it. But the reality is that you have a skill. You are skilled at what you do. Not everybody can sit with an animal in a meditative space and calm that animal down. Not everybody can take a stressed and shut down animal and have them become open just from sitting with you in that meditative space. That is a skill that you have. It's a skill that you work on. It's a skill that you practice. And the more you practice, the more of an expert you become and the easier it becomes. Now, if you were an accountant or something else, you would charge more money. The more skill you have, the more years, you charge more money. But for whatever reason, in this space, the animal Reiki space, the energy space, the spiritual space, we want to charge less. Oh, well, I shouldn't charge because of this. The more money we have, especially as women, the more money we have, the more good we can do, the more we can donate back, the more that we can give to others, the more we can say, oh, I'm doing a class. I'll give it to everybody at 50% off because I really want people to learn this, right? And if you live like in a more rural area, like where Wilma lives, it's more rural. Maybe people don't have a lot of money. In Silicon Valley, where I am, people have tons of money. They're not afraid to spend money, right? But having that mindset of there is money everywhere. Money comes, it's a flow, it's an energy. There's nothing physical about money except for when you touch actual money, but there's nothing about it. It's just a piece of paper. There's nothing spiritual or magical about that piece of paper. We put the meaning to that paper. So it's our mindset, right? How we feel about money is how money comes or goes to us. And so if you think about money as this energy, just like when we share energy with the animals, right? We're sharing this beautiful space. Their heart connects to our heart. Well, with money, it's the same thing. Money isn't this evil thing. Money is a beautiful thing. When you have money and you can give money away, oh my God, now money is like the best thing in the world, right? But when you don't have money, or when money is causing you issues, you're like, oh, I don't like money, blah, blah, for whatever reason. And we start to block money from coming to us. I do that. So I'll give a story in just a second about growth and fixed mindset. So if we can look at money as a friend, as a relationship. Oh, I really love money. And we can start appreciating money, and we can start realizing that it isn't hard to make money. It's actually very easy to make money. Look at how the world we live in, where these little Gen Zs are taking pictures of themselves and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Is that hard? No, it's so easy. But yet for us, we think, oh, we have to work really hard. We have to do something really spectacular in order to be paid to do animal Reiki. No, we don't. In the world we live in now, where people spend more money, I mean, the animal business is $1 billion business, right? Billions of dollars. We are part of that. We can make money, and it seems almost dirty. Oh God, talking about money, and we're spiritual beings, and we're supposed to be light. We're not supposed to worry about things. Okay, well, we have to live. You have to live. You have to pay your rent. You have to drive. You have to have gas, right? So you need money. So charging for your services, charging for what you're doing isn't a bad thing. It's actually a positive thing, because again, the more money, especially women, the more money we have, the more we will do with that money. We will put that money back out there. We will help support others. So when we talk about animal Reiki and growth and fixed mindset, we talk about it with the animals. That's one aspect, but also a more powerful aspect is how we relate to ourselves and money and our service, right? So Denise Duffield Thomas is one of the women I follow, and I'm in her classes, and I just consider her an incredible mentor. She is, yes, money is energy, Patricia. That's
Mhm.
exactly right. She is amazing because she has this mantra: I serve, I deserve. I serve, I deserve. You serve, you deserve, right? It's getting into that mindset of, I work hard at what I do. You've paid money to get training for what you do, right? You've put time and effort. You do a daily practice. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to charge and feel good about it. Now, it doesn't mean people aren't going to try to ask you to give it to you for free. And that's when our money blocks come up, right? Whoa, that person's asking me to do this for free. I should be giving this away. It's really not hard for me to do this at all. Oh my gosh. So now that fixed mindset comes in. I actually need to be giving this away. No, your growth mindset says, hey, I put a lot of time and effort into this. I'm happy to give this person a discount if they're like, if they really are struggling, that's totally fine. When we give stuff away for free, people don't honor it. They don't respect it, right? As much as when they have to make an investment. And if it's a small investment, when they make that investment of money, it changes things. So when we talk about ourselves out there as animal Reiki practitioners, animal Reiki teachers, we have to always remember that we are blocking that flow of money to coming to us by our mindset. If we think, oh, people don't have money, this, I work at shelters, there's no money, no money, no money. Guess what? There's no money. The universe hears you and goes, oh, so there's no money. But if we're of the growth mindset of there's always more money, there's wonderful people out there who love to donate, there's always more money, then that energy creates more money and it creates that balance between yourself. So Wilma says, I have that same mindset with grooming, right? So you get like people, you think, oh, people can't afford this, people, and that's the kind of clients that you get then, right? But when you think, wow, there are all kinds of people that can afford this, people have all kinds of money, and the right people will come to you if you're open to it. But we can't be, when you're fixed, you're like this. When you're growth, you're like this, right? You're open to all possibilities. So now anything can come to you. You're like this, nothing can come in. You're stuck. You're this. But when you're like this, and so Diane says, yes, you can't operate out of a scarcity mindset. That's exactly right, because that is a fixed mindset. Scarcity is fixed. We have to have growth. We have to know that there's always more money. So I want to share this little story about what happened to me. So my nephew wrecked my car. I have to get a new car. They totaled my car. Whenever they total your car, like especially in the United States, you get like such a small amount for what the car, you can't replace your car for what they give you. So I needed to get a new car and I was going to have to borrow probably around $12,000. And my aunt was going to get a new car, but she always drags her feet. And so she decided, because I got in a wreck, she goes, you can have my old car for this set amount and I'll go buy a new car. And I was like, wow, old Leah would have said, no, 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 I don't want you to do that, and I would have pushed that away. Right. But instead I said, I would love it if you would do that. And it made her so happy to do that for me. She's like, I'm so glad you're going to take the car. Now it's a car that she loves. She's going to give it to me. It's like such a good deal. She's giving it to me like 9,000 below what she could get it. And she's buying a very expensive car. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there's part of me going, I'm robbing her of that extra money. She should just sell her car. And I'm like, no, she wanted to give it to me. That's her choice. That's her thing. I want to be in the energy of accepting it. So then, because I'm self-employed, I tried to get a loan for the excess that I'm going to have to pay her over and above what the insurance company is going to give me. And so I started to look at third-party loan options and everything, because it's a private party. If I went to a dealership, I could definitely get a loan, but private party loans are harder and you have to prove a lot. And the interest rates were so high. It was as high as a credit card. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, no, everything always works out for me. And it was really hard for me to stay in that energy of everything always works out for me, right? The growth mindset. I am not going to be, nothing ever works out for me. I'm never going to get this car, or I'm going to have to spend a ton of money to get this car. I'm like, no, you are not going to have to spend a ton of money. You are not going to get into debt. Everything's going to work out. And then my mom called me and she said, what's going on? And I told her, and she goes, I'll loan you the money at 3%. And I'm like, no, mom. And she goes, no, I want to. So old Leah would have said, no, absolutely not, refused it and done the higher interest rate. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I appreciate money. Money is coming to me. I'm open to it, right? I am open to the energy of money coming and supporting me. So I said, thank you, mother. I really appreciate that. And it made her so happy to help me. So now my aunt and my mother feel really good about themselves. They're helping me in a bad situation. And I feel really good because now I am in that flow, right? I didn't have those boundaries. Old Leo would have said, push that money away. I would have pushed it away because I would have said, that's not right. I'm putting them out, blah, 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 blah. And I would have robbed them of what they wanted to do. But that's where a fixed mindset can really hurt you. And you don't look at it. And I wanted to share that because it's a good example of when we go the opposite. We think we're doing right? We think we're being the martyr, well, we're being the martyr. We think we're doing the good thing. I'm doing the spiritual thing. I'm not taking from my family. I'm not taking, no, the universe is giving you a gift. The universe is saying, here you go. Why would I push that gift away and say no to it? Why wouldn't I be, yes, I want that. Yes, I want more of this. So I'm telling the universe, thank you, universe. I want more of this. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for giving me a loan at a very low interest rate, right? So now I'm in a really good position and I'm going to get a car that will probably last me years and years and years. And I didn't have to go into debt. I didn't have to go to a crazy dealership where I don't trust. I know exactly where the car, all of these things worked out for my higher good. And I've been asking the universe when it happened, I said, universe, I'm giving it to you. I'm not going to focus on the fact that I'm going to have to go get a new car and that it's going to be hard. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be easy. Everything always works out for me. And it was that growth mindset that helped bring that in. But it's really, that's how the law of attraction works, right? It's not you focus on what you want. It's you believe in what you want. You believe it's coming to you. You know it's coming to you. And that's where everything always works out for me, is always my mantra, because that mantra keeps me in that place of giving and receiving freely, right? So whenever I give money, like I gave, there's a situation, it was, well, it's a long story, but anyway, I had a choice in my head. Do I give this kid $50 or not? And, I'm not a rich person, but in my heart, I felt like he did this really good thing and I should show him that flow of energy, right? When you do something really good, and it was, what he did was so incredible and beyond. This $50 was just like to just kind of acknowledge, hey, here you go, and this is your gas or whatever it was. And he was so grateful and I felt so good. And that's that spirit of that flow, right? I wasn't blocking it. I could afford to give him that, but I trusted my gut too. You go with your gut. What does my gut say? You don't give everything away and say, oh, that's okay, Beth, we're glad you're here.
Mhm.
You don't give everything away and go, okay, oh, I'm such a good person because I gave everything away. You check in with yourself. You check in with that flow, that fixed, because a fixed mindset, right? It's a fixed mindset. I have to give everything away. I can't, better myself, or I can't make more than my parents, or I can't make more than so-and-so. I can't do better than so-and-so. That's a fixed mindset. Because when you're elevated, right, that growth mindset, you elevate everybody else. So by me sharing that story of how, with the car, the flow, hopefully that helps you go, you know what? This situation, I have a situation coming up. It's a bad situation. Everything always works out for me. I'm going to be in that flow. I'm going to be open up to opportunities. And then when an opportunity comes to you, you say, I'm going to take that. If it feels good, even if there's part of you that goes, oh, no, you shouldn't do that because, you're going to put that person out. Whenever our ego starts telling us that person's going to feel like this or that, say, no, that is not true. There's nothing true about that statement, because we all do that, right, Jamie? We all say,
Yeah, I like to look at it as inspired action.
right.
So if I'm in, a lot of times when it happens after I meditate, or, as I've come out of meditation or in meditation, I have this idea and it's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to try this. And so I go ahead, I follow through, and then I let go of it. And that's when it usually works out. But I will say you have to be really careful and protect your mindset. So if you're going to do something and you just feel it, it's right, I wouldn't be talking about it to people who, who might try to say, who are in fixed mindset to say, oh, that's not going to work, because that can affect us. So it's just
Right.
important to protect ourselves, our mindset, to take care of that. And I just look at it as taking inspired action and then letting go of the
Right.
result.
Well, it's that. So, you were saying something. Oh God, I lost my whole train of thought about the protection, when you talk to other people. So you're exactly right. If I would have been telling people, oh, well, everything's going to just work
Right.
out for me, I'm not going to worry about the car because it's all going to work out. Then people would start to say, what do you mean you're not going to worry about it? What do you mean you're not going to? You need to be worried about it. And so then that would affect me, like what Jamie's saying. It's like that would really affect my mindset. But instead, it's a really personal thing. What your decisions are very personal. You don't need to talk about it. And I think that that's what happens. We end up talking about it because we want to feel better about it. And that goes back to a fixed and growth mindset. Our fixed mindset says, oh, you need other people to support this. But a growth mindset, it doesn't matter what other people say, because this is my decision. This is my own personal growth, right? That is kind of the difference when we're talking to people about it. Or if you're starting a new business, right? That's a big one. You start a new business, you want support, but then people are like, I don't know if you should do that. There's a lot of people around you that might have a fixed mindset, but be aware of that. Just know, like I know, and it's not even so much like protection, because we say protection, it's like, something bad is going to happen to you, as much as, and nothing against what Jamie's saying, because I understand what she means by that protection, but it's more about asking yourself, do I really want that person's opinion? Is that person really going to give me that opinion? And again, that's being at one with ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry, Mon. Okay. I have a very busy, oh, wait, let's say if I see, I thought you said you had to go. If I think I'm going to have a very busy week in my practice, suddenly a client cancels an appointment, right? So, right, it's like putting that out there. Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, the universe is going to clear a space for you. It's like, wait, no, space. So really, like, that's another way to do it too, right? Saying, I love having clients. I love having clients. I don't like doing housework. So then maybe someone knocks at your door and says, oh, I can clean your house for this very low amount. And you're like, yay, that happens, right? It's that difference between being open to something better and then being closed to, like what you're saying, Maud, I'm really busy, but not saying what you appreciate. I appreciate having clients. I appreciate the flow that I have when I have clients. I don't appreciate doing housework, but I am appreciative of the house. Maybe something can happen, right? You can figure out who, not how, or something might happen, or a friend or somebody might come over and say, hey, I just want to come over and clean your house because I love you and I want to do something special for you. You never know what could come in, but I love that you said that, because that's a fixed mindset. Oh, I'm busy. And I don't think we realize how, like you were saying earlier, Jamie, how it permeates our life, how we constantly throughout our day have both a fixed and a growth mindset. Like throughout our day, we think, oh, that'll never happen. Or, oh, you know what? The possibilities are endless. That'll never happen. Oh, the possibilities, there's a constant battle within us, but it's really that mindfulness, which the precepts bring to us, right? Like when we say, for today only, do not anger, do not worry, right? We're in that worry state. And that's what I was really practicing with the car. It's like, okay, for today only, do not worry. Do not worry. Be humble, be grateful, having that gratitude. So like for Maud, having that gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful I have these clients. Then the universe goes, oh, she's grateful for that. Oh, she loves her clients. Okay, more clients, less of whatever you don't want to do, right? Hopefully. But when we're sitting with animals, like Jamie was saying earlier, right? You were sitting with an animal, we think, oh, they might not get adopted, or, oh, this is really bad that they're here, all this, instead of when we shine our light, when we sit in that light of compassion and love, that is a growth mindset. That's anything is possible. Everything is possible. In fact, Beth had a situation where she was feeling sad about a dog leaving and going to the right adopters. And She just let go and shined her light. And now the dog hopefully is going to be adopted by these really perfect adopters. So it's when we let go and we have growth, guess what happens? Miracles happen, things happen, everything starts to fall into place because that is universal energy. We think universal energy is, I want this, the universe gives back. No, it's the energy of love and of gratitude. Now the universe responds. Now you're in flow with universal energy. There isn't any like this with universal energy, and universal energy is flow. But when we're in fixed mindset, we're constantly fighting. Then the universe goes, okay, I guess you like to fight. Well, I'm going to give you more things to fight about because that seems to be what you love to do over here. But when we go, okay, let that go. I'm going to be growth. I'm going to know everything always works out for me. I'm going to know that when I sit with this animal and I shine my love, that animal is going to be elevated and anything is possible for them. Now I'm in the flow. Now I'm in this beautiful space of growth mindset. And you can see the difference, right? So like, let's open it up. I know I've talked way too long. And I don't know, Jamie, if you want to do some closing comments on that.
No, I just think, don't beat yourself up. This is something our mindset is, just becoming aware of it, catching yourself throughout the day. When you catch yourself, oh, that's kind of a limiting thought. Give yourself credit for that, and expect that to happen because it will. And we just constantly work at creating a more fixed mindset. And that's going to provide more opportunities for us.
Right. Just focus on the growth, not
Mhm.
you find yourself being like this, when you find yourself saying, oh, that'll never happen, or oh, this isn't possible, then you start to limit yourself. So Mel says, love this topic, exactly what I need here. Oh, great, Mel. I'm so
Good.
happy. Thank you for that. But yeah, we just have to let go
Mhm.
and let God, let the universe, whatever, and know and trust that something better is there for you. And trust me, with that car, I had to sit there, and I remember it was just yesterday, I had to sit in my car and meditate, and because I was starting to panic. I'm not going to get a loan. I had heard like the fourth, well, it was a rejection. It was like, yeah, we'll give you a loan for 15%. It was like, oh my God, I can't, that's way too much money. And just sitting there going, no, everything always works out for me, and doing the precepts and saying, you know what, something better is out there. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means it's out of our view, out of our line of fire. So Diane, I want to open it up to you because Diane had this beautiful experience. We're going to share the video of it on our social media. But Diane had a beautiful experience with one of her little disabled dogs. And this is where fixed mindset, she had this certain thing she was doing, and then the growth mindset that occurred. So Diane, if you don't mind sharing about that. Oh, wait, you're still on mute. Let's see. Oh, there she goes. Wait, nope, you're still on mute.
Yep.
I don't know why it's not unmuting. Well, we can come back to Diane. Try and figure that out, Diana. When you go on mute, we'll come back to you. So does anyone else, Beth, do you want to share anything? I don't want to put you on the spot. You don't have to, but if anyone else wants to share, yeah, Beth.
Sorry, did you mean Beth, me, Beth, or
Yes,
other
yes,
Beth?
you Beth. Sorry, I know I forget Beth. Okay.
This is a random one, not to do with animals, but I remember I was like decided, I was like, no, I'm just going to start attracting money. So I did a money meditation in the morning. Can't remember what I did. I was just like, oh, just imagine like I loved money and like money loved me. And then it was so weird. I went into a shop, it was like a coffee shop and like a health food shop. And this guy just approached me and he was like, oh, would you be able to like model a handbag thing? It was just for a quick advert. Like they were filming, and he paid me like cash in hand right there and then. It was just so weird. Like I earned like, I think it was like £200 just
Wow.
literally walking into a shop. Like it was so weird. And I got a free coffee as well because like the advert, I had to be like drinking coffee in it as well. It was, yeah. So like the meditations do work, and like I think just not having an idea of where the money's going to come from, because I couldn't have predicted that. It's just, yeah, it's up to the universe, like how it comes to you.
I love that so much because that's exactly right. And when we're sitting with animals, it's the same way. We can't see what their path is or what's going to happen, but we can put that beautiful, loving energy out. And I also loved how you said, I love money, money loves me. It sounds, the way we've been raised, it sounds really trite and really, really are greedy, I guess is what the word is. But it's just energy. I love money. Money loves me. And see, money loved her. Money's like, hey, look at, and then she got to be in an advert too. It's like she got paid and she just walked into a coffee shop. So we never know what's going to happen. We just have to put it out there, that beautiful energy of love and light, which is what our practice brings to us, right? And when we do that, anything can happen. Thank you, Beth. I love that so much. Yay.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share? And obviously there's no pressure to do so.
Let's see if.
Oh, Diane came back. So maybe Diane
we'll
will.
see if she can get her audio working this
I would
time.
really love for her to share that story of what happened recently. And again, we're going to have the video up on our social media, so look for it. Yeah, Mel, why don't you, while we're waiting for Diane to connect here.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. So this is not so much money related, but it's kind of the same thing. So I was at Petco and I had cat food cans that I had to get. And there was a man talking to a store employee in the next aisle over. And I was like, oh, I'm like, as soon as I pass him, he's going to ask me if my cat food cans, if the food that I'm buying is good food. So I was like, I'm just going to go around him. I just knew that. I don't know why. And then I ended up being at the register behind him. He turns around and he's like, so are those cat food cans? Is this cat food any good? So we started and I was like, okay, well, here it was. And then he told me he just got 2 new kittens. They're Siamese. And he's like, I'm buying this food. But long story short, I had to tell him he needed to get kitten food because there were kittens still. So I ended up just helping him find new food and everything. And then I left the store and I went food shopping. And then there was a man grabbing a cart and he grabbed one for me too. He's like, here, this one's for you. And when I left, it was raining and a random man with a huge umbrella came over and put the umbrella over me while I was putting all my food and my groceries in my car.
Oh.
And then he took my cart and put it back into the cart storage place. So it's the energy.
Right.
I ended up helping out. I just helped out a man. And it was, I mean, I could have just left and I could have just told him you need to buy kitten food.
Right.
But I spent 15, 20 minutes with him trying to find good food for his 2 new kittens. And then I just left. And then you get the energy back by other people just very, there's small things, but it makes such a difference when you give selfishly or when you don't think about it like that.
Yeah.
So it's that energy of giving and receiving, and it's just a flow. So I just wanted to share that. I know.
I love that. I love that so much because, and also by you accepting the help and smiling and saying thank you, that also elevated that energy, right? So when we receive and we receive graciously and with gratitude, right? Same as when we're sitting with the animals, when they open up to us and connect and we're grateful, then that elevates the whole entire energy and it spreads. It's like, the ripple, like you throw a rock in the water and the ripple effect, or you ring a bell and the ripples of the sound go out. I love that so much. Thank you, Mel.
Yes, thank you.
Diane, so are you able to unmute now?
Yes, I switched from my phone to my computer, so it's
okay, great.
It's all better now. So I have a dog that I'm fostering. She was a street dog. She was hit by a car. She was pregnant. She lost all the babies. One of the babies was wedged into her abdomen wall. She needed surgery, and the surgery you know, obviously couldn't correct her paralysis in the back end. So I've had her for a month. Every single day for a month, she's had diarrhea, like explosive diarrhea. And like we've gone to the vet, we've done fecals, we've done everything. And I said, you know, from the day that I got her, I said, I'm just going to do my meditations every single day. And I'm going to get in this place because I knew taking on this case, it was going to be hard, but I didn't realize how hard. And the other night I did my homework and from Leah's class, and I was sitting with her in her little, I have a little pen, like a little playpen area for her so that she can't wander off, you know, and hobble off. And I said, I'm just going to meditate in here and I'm going to start. And she literally moved herself over and she fell asleep on me, which was the first time ever she, you know, like crave that type of attention, like where she wanted to touch me and be touched. You know, usually it's so hands off when I'm doing the meditations, but the exhaustion that you feel sometimes as a caregiver to, you know, anybody, and especially somebody who has, you know, all these issues medically and the disability and you know, I had to keep changing my mindset of looking at her like a regular dog, not looking at her issues, her problems, her, you know, all these things that I want to feel sorry for her about. And it just really exploded for me, the way that she responded. And it was just so positive. And it, as a caregiver, again, like it helped me with the burnout because I'm telling you, 30 days of this has been like, you know, a little intense. So it's also been so grounding for me and given me the ability to really take this on, because without being in that positive mindset and that this is all is well, this is all going to work out, this is all going to come together, we're going to solve this, you know, even though I'm not expecting any miracle here, but lo and behold, last night she had a solid bowel movement. So it was like a victory. But you know, I have to really look at her without those expectations and without my ego saying, I'm going to fix you, I'm going to heal you, I'm going to make you better, and just accept her exactly how she is. And she's doing great. She's doing great.
Oh, that's so great. Well, you know, and I loved how I think you say this on the video that, you know, for the 30 days you've been doing stuff, right? You've just been changing her
Yep.
diaper, moving her around, so there's always working, but you haven't been like in that space of love. And then when you just sat back and went, okay, I need to do a meditation, this is really overwhelming. And
Yes.
get into that space, and she just crawled over and supported that because it's what you
Yes.
both
She was
need.
so happy for me not to be poking her and giving
Right.
her medicine and touching her and changing her diaper. And, you know, it was just this really positive connection between us. And I could just feel that shift, that change immediately. It was like, she was so relaxed. And it was just like, finally, you know, like, you get it now, lady, you get it.
Yeah. And I loved how you said it's like that fixed mindset of where we have to fix, right? We have
Yeah.
to, so that
Yeah.
we're like this, oh, this has to happen. But then in that growth, it's like, what if I just let go? What if I just see her as the beautiful spirit she is? And yes,
Yeah.
she has these physical things that we will help, but she is just like a regular dog. And I know that
Just like a dog.
these disabled dogs come to us to teach us those lessons, because I had a disabled dog. She wasn't paralyzed in her back end, but her back end was really weak and she could barely
Mhm.
walk. But she was such a fighter, and she showed us that she didn't see herself as
No.
disabled. She saw herself as whole. And that's what they show us in like your little dog, your little Foster. She sees herself as whole. Yes, she has these problems, but she doesn't see that it's taken away from her. That's a very,
No.
that's our fixed mindset, right? Oh, you're paralyzed. You're only half a dog. You can't
Right.
take all these other dogs do. Whereas the growth mindset is you're a beautiful canine. No matter what is going on the outside, you're still this beautiful canine heart and soul. And I love you. And so, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Diane. And please look for the video. It's going to be on our social media. I think it's gonna be on Sarah's too. But it's just a short little clip. I think it's 6 minutes or 5 minutes. And it's just Diane talking with the dog, completely locked out in her lap. And she talks about the let animals lead method and about this call and how much support she felt at last week's call.
Yeah,
that
it was last week's
do this.
call. Yeah,
Oh,
I got off and I was so like, just so happy to be with a community of people who are like going through and understanding like, you know, what it is that we're doing and, you know, because you know how people sometimes look at you like, oh, you do animal reiki, you know, and just some of the things that, you know, some people sometimes think, you know, and getting out of that mindset too is to stop caring, you know, or, you know, letting that absorb into my consciousness, like what other people may think of it, because I know it works. The animals know it works. And, you know, so that was like a big thing, being with everybody and hearing everybody else's experiences.
yeah. Yeah. So bravo to all of you for
Yes.
coming, supporting this, because it's a community. That's why we do this. This is a community. So Beth R., did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing. That was like really lovely to hear that about your foster dog.
Yeah, I know. If anybody like, so when people talk, and if you want to unmute yourself and say thank you or make a comment, feel free to do so. Thank you so much, Diane. That was just really heart opening. And it also emphasizes why we do what we do. But again, a fixed mindset. You see the animal is broken, a growth mindset. You see the animal's heart and spirit. And that's what you focus on and not on this part. Very human reactions, right? Thank you. So anyone else, or I don't know, Jamie, if you have other stuff you want to add on to this.
No, I just would say, you know, like when you're sitting with a session, and you complete the session, maybe it didn't go exactly as you thought, but don't focus on that. Look for what you did right. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I didn't exactly expect that reaction. Or, you know, I could tell the dog was really distracted because we're outside around cows. But, you know, I did really well bringing myself back into the session. Or, you know, focus on that. Give yourself the praise that you deserve. What do we do usually? I mean, we make one tiny little mistake, or we, you know, are off a little bit, and that's what we focus on, right? And I don't care, you could have had the best session, you could be doing the best in your business, and it's like, oh, but I messed up right here. And so we're focused on that, and it just grows and grows. You know, that's the fixed mindset. So with the growth, we give ourselves permission, you know, and we focus on our accomplishments and what we've done right. We're not just tuned in to that one little mistake that we may have made, or that, oh, I had a negative thought. Well, sure you did, you know, and we just let them go.
And focusing on the feeling that the animal brought to you, like at the end of your
Yes.
session, really focusing on, I feel so much lighter. I feel so much happier. I'm so glad I had this time with this animal. That's also, you know, the growth mindset, and it helps you stay positive about what you're doing. And that will also, because if you don't feel positive about what you're doing, you won't continue to do it, right? So then that negative mindset really starts to affect you. Whereas, like you said, like focusing on the good that happened, all of the positive, but that's really just retraining your brain, which is hard because we're raised, what is it? We have like, God, it's like tens of thousands of negative thoughts a day, and we don't even realize it. And yet the positive is so much rarer. And there's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And in that, the author talks about how we think negative is more realistic than positive. So, you know, if like you say, oh, that'll never happen, that's more realistic than saying, oh, wow, there's a good chance that's going to happen. But really neither is true, right? It's like the negative just brings that negative energy. Yes, Beth B. Yes, the power of gratitude, really being happy for that. But so really catch yourself when you start thinking negative, go, you know what? There's no reason this can't be positive. And really start to change that. It's just really being mindful. Yes, our thoughts are things. Wilma, you wanted to talk, and then we started I know you unmuted yourself, so feel free to unmute and come back on. Yeah. Hey, Wilma.
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing distant healing for someone that's down in the States that her dog was having issues with his eyes, and she ended up taking him to the vet, low income vet for the dog. And anyway, they're doing all this blood work and cost her an extra amount of money. And she came home and they just came the other day with another set of diagnostics or whatever you want to call it. They want more blood work and it's going to cost her more money. They believe that the dog has got cancer. The dog is anywhere between 13 and 15 years old. She doesn't know what she's going to do. And the more that she was type messaging me, the more I was starting to feel like I could feel her energy. And I turned around and I said, Tina, sorry, I shouldn't be saying names, but I do. Tina, please, you have to start looking at your animal as a beautiful animal, that he's perfect, that he's healthy. Everything is going to be all right. Because I said, your dog is feeding off your energy. I said, if you're anxious, you're worried, you're sad, I said, that dog feels you. And she couldn't understand the concept. Like literally, she texted me back and like I was taken aback because I said, well, what part of the message she didn't understand? But I said to her, I said, animals feed off our energy. And I said, animals are here to teach us a lesson. I said, you have to stop. And I said, you have to listen to what he's trying to tell you. So now she's got to think about what her next step is going to be. Like the age is there, but she told me, she says, whatever you do, please do not stop with the Reiki, because she said the Reiki is keeping him comfortable. And she said, not only him, but she said myself as well. So that's like, I know distance is very powerful. And I keep telling clients that want to have face-to-face animal Reiki, I prefer to do it distant because I find them more powerful, because the animal's already in their own environment without a stranger beside them.
Yeah, and you can share that too. I would just share that. Sometimes too, it's hard for people when they're in crisis to hear what they should do. It's very hard when it's an animal you love and somebody says, just be positive. And you know that, on an intellectual level, that. But on your heart level, your emotions, it's hard to do that. So just giving her that love and support and telling her, when she does have those moments, or like with the Reiki, that's really great that she's open to that, because that's really helpful and you can support that. And hopefully just even giving her the precepts to recite every day. And just every time she feels worried, for today only, do not worry, be humble, be grateful, whatever that is, and have her do that too. But yeah, it is hard for people in that moment of crisis. And I don't know, Jamie, if you want to say something about that as well.
It really is difficult. And we have to remember, we're very fortunate. We're very blessed that we have our system. So we've all been doing this for a little bit. So we understand, to look at the animal's perfection. We understand that our energy affects the animal. If this is something totally new to people, or if they're just not familiar, maybe they've heard of Reiki as a healing modality, right? And that's what they know about it. It can be really foreign. The idea is foreign to them, that their animals are reflecting what's going on with them, or that they are perfect. Even, the vet tells them they have cancer or they have this disease and they're scared that they're going to die and they're going to lose their best friend. And so all this fear is going on. And the idea of looking at them as being perfect is too much for them. So we have to be a little gentle with people. And it's wonderful that, the Reiki, she also got some peace from that, because we know that's what happens, right? All of us here know that we can support the caregivers as well as the animals. And you were able to do that. And that's really wonderful, because that's what she needs. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the journey of the animal, if it is cancer, if it isn't, we don't know the outcome, and we don't need to. We just need to send love to that situation.
Because that's more powerful than when we say, oh my gosh, they're not getting it, or we get worried about the person, or we get upset. Then we're lowering the energy. But when we can just go, you know what, she's doing her best, and their journey together is happening for a reason, right? We don't know what that reason is, but their journey is happening for a reason. And so again, just sending light and love and knowing that all is well, right? Going back to our mantra, all is well, all is well, all is well. But thank you, Wilma, for bringing that up and for sharing that. And then, I was getting worried, but ended changing it to around to positive. Good. So you caught yourself from being, that's really good. That's wonderful. And that's what we have to do. It doesn't mean for today only, do not worry or do not anger. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel those emotions. It means you're not going to hang on to them, that you're going to acknowledge them and then let them go and know that all is well. There's love and light that surrounds us. So we're at the very end, and we always close with a meditation. So I know, and I'm sorry, not everybody got to speak. We always like to give everybody a chance to speak. So Maud and Liza and Beth, if you just want to say hi really quickly, love to hear your voices. There's
Hi,
Beth.
everybody.
Hi, Beth. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Bye. Bye.
Hi, Maud. Thank you. We're going to do our meditation, so don't sign up yet. And Liza.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for all the great stories. I really have enjoyed this meeting today.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah,
me
we had
too.
some really great discussions.
Yeah.
So let's do a meditation. I don't know what meditation. What do you think, Jamie? It has to be short.
Do you want to do the 1 minute meditation?
Yeah, why don't you do it? Because you do that better than me.
Well, let me think about it. I have to remember what we do.
I
It's
can
been
do
a while.
I can do it if you want.
Okay, you do it, because it's been a
Okay.
while. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, how do
I
we do
won't. Probably won't be a minute. Let's be honest. But okay, we will try. So let us all go into Gasho, go into prayer pose. Just bringing our hands together at our hearts. And we'll set our intention that we're open to receive whatever it is that we need most at this moment in time. And let us dedicate this energy that we're creating to all sentient beings. And if there's anyone, any person or animal or situation that needs extra support, just bring them into this beautiful healing circle where we are creating. And know that they will get support and love and light. Whenever you're ready, you can put your hands face up or face down in your lap. And we're just going to focus on breathing in light through our nose, pulling that light down into our belly, and expanding that light at our belly, and releasing the light out every pore in our body into the space around us. With every breath in, we bring light into our body, and every breath out, we expand that light. As you breathe out, feel all tension and all stress leave your body. Envision yourself as a beautiful light, beautiful ball of healing light filled with love, joy, compassion, and peace. You are this beautiful healing light. This is who you are. It's your center, it's your core, it is your true being. And this light, this is the light that the animals see. It's the light that the animals connect with. As you breathe in and out, feel that sensation of love, peace, joy, happiness filling your body. The beautiful light that you are is pure love. And you radiate it out to every being in your life. As we close our meditation, we bring our hands into Gasho, but let us not close the space. Let us keep this beautiful feeling of love and light within us as we go forward in our day today. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring yourself back. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Leah, for the beautiful meditation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, Wilma. Bye, Diane. Thank you so much for this story. Bye, Beth.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Leah.
Thank
Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Bye, everybody.